Hello and welcome to my TED Talk. I mean my project pitch. Let's begin. We're going to cover 9 parts of the project brief in total. It sounds long, but I won't make it too long. After all, this is a pitch, not a sermon. Before we dive into what my project's about, I'd like to give you several notions on the installation. I would like to make an interactive installation demonstrating the idea of reenactment of memories events via a simple action such as turning on and off the light. This is a physical interactive piece which I know is unwise to be produced during this time of an ongoing pandemic, but I have had a head start for it and the show must go on. Also, due to matters surrounding resources and materials, the installation will be made in doll size. Not miniature but like American Girl doll size. Why am I making this instead of some scrumptious animations or games or whatever? Well, there is this one idea which has just come in during my concept development phase, entertainment in study. It is not a brand new topic but still holds relevance. For years, the traditional study method requires robust amount of efforts and people are worn out as a result. Many have tried to find alternative ways to study via different forms, notably videos, pictures and museum visits etc. to make their work enjoyable, but it seems like this academic activity cannot be anything rather than a joy killer. Moreover, accumulating knowledge in bulk like this will not be beneficial as they will soon forget what they have learned for most cases and false memories are formed because of misunderstanding and confusion. The consequence will be distortion of information. To experience is the best way to study and to remember. The reenactment does not tell stories. It leads audience through the event and let them reflect to understand. This is a type of research method for the masses rather than for scholars. Another point is that my practice is art and craft major, since I came from a family with a long tradition of lacquer and carpentry. I am pretty much into prop making and I would like to use this project as an opportunity to develop skill sets for this particular interest. The outcome can also be an addition to my portfolio. The installation is suitable for all ages. However, for younger audience, parental guidance is required as several displayed visuals may be disturbing for them. Kids nowadays aren't hardcore like before. They're too pampered. Moving on to my least favorite part, and maybe your least favorite part as well in my presentation, cause it can be long and boring, concept development. Here we go. So, I looked into notions on the science behind memories and storytelling without having to tell. Regarding how my installation works, the lit area conceals the event which is intended to be reenacted or shown. The purpose behind it emphasizes how people cannot see what really happened if they're standing in the light. Only when darkness emerges, all shall be revealed. A contrast through space and time, and perhaps through certain depth of humans' perception only shows, but does not narrate stories on behalf of any individual. Some may find themselves in denial of what they witness, some rather understand it as it is. Another important point is that there is a fine line between what we know and what we believe. Our emotions manipulate us as a mechanism to defend our mentality against shock and pain. They compromise our ability to make a decision under pressure, and depending on how well we adapt, we can hope to make the right choice. Next, items often play the role of a witness, because people sometimes forget that they do, subconsciously, leave behind traces of their memories and their presence. In this case, I have chosen walls as archival media. The walls stand still even when other parts erode with time. This means what the walls show is positively what have happened. By adding sounds and visuals, the effects will further enhance, thus creating a vivid presentation. Yeah, but before we get to the visual, I want to let you know this one tiny thing: the technical part is the most important part. Why? Because it determines the proportion, the amount of material needed, the arrangement on set, and every other related details. Without a solid, complete and functional system, I doubt that the work building this installation is feasible. I have conducted a lot of tests and experiments in an attempt to find the best approach, which does not require or requires very little coding. At first, I used Unity, but it was problematic with lots of errors. So I moved on to KVM switch and relay solution. This unfortunately did not work as I misunderstood the concept of capacitance. I don't need a parallel circuit. It's too complicated, so no. Arduino is complicated, but I use very basic code lines, so yeah, it's not too hard. I then connected it to Makey, a switch in the lamp. Auto hotkey is my choice for a median part, which ties everything together. Crafting is next. So, I made the wall and floor. I have to hide the wires and electrical parts, so I proceed to make a decor and lamp set. Crafting is not all easy during this time, so accidents happen and some of them must be covered up. This is why the real product is very different than the sketch.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Alright, visual development. The technical part has taken up too much time due to errors and troubleshoot, therefore this step right here is still under construction at the moment. No worries, I have sketches, moodboard, and a production list for it, so the plan is still running. A bit slower than expected, but still running. Honestly, the production plan is good, but I'd rather commit to things in a flexible manner, which means that I am prepared to divert from the plan if something happens. Through a larger scope, my installation introduces a form of display technology for items which allows audience to experience the event's memories right in the space where they stand. This can be beneficial for different trades, education and tourism, as it can form a new type of services. Furthermore, it helps deliver cultural values and promote images. Finally, here is my prototype. So, there is it. Thank you for listening.